I kind of layer my drums up using several drum machines normally. There's only a couple on there actually, it's quite simple. There's a couple of loops as well. One thing I will say with drum loops is a lot of people think that it's not very creative to just stick a loop in and just leave it running. So what I generally do is get it in Recycle and into a Rex player. Sometimes I use it straight, but I'll dip frequencies or change the pitch, something like that, or I will reprogram it. So, you know, don't be afraid of using sample packs, just use them creatively, I think. I use all the obvious ones that probably most people get. There's Vengeance and, you know, the Muteki stuff, everything. It's all amazing, but I think as long as you're using it your own way and being actually creative with it, then don't shy away from it, because people have a bit of a stigma with sample packs. So anyway, yeah, so I always start with a drum groove. So on this, it was just kind of skippy drums, just turn up a bit. Just kind of signature at the moment for most people, I guess. So that would have been programmed in here. So you can, that's probably how I would have started it. And then, you know, having dropped it down into Reason on the sequencer, I've then edited stuff out and changed things. So that's why it developed from that. Let's just take that off. Then there was those drums actually develop a bit more. I'm just going to go into Logic as well and bring up the mixer and just isolate the drums. My drums come into on a separate channel in Logic through Rewire. And I mix any other drums I might add in Logic as well, or go onto like a drum bus as well, which is just kind of the way I work. It's good for compression as well. It's sometimes good to have a separate limiter on your drums. That's how I work, and you know, to have separate control, or like a drum mix kind of thing. So that's how the drums kind of ended up. Some hi-hats and stuff coming in. I won't isolate everything in a minute, I'll just let it play, but again, just layering things up. I mean, obviously now with plugins, you've got no limit. The only limit is the speed of your computer, really. If you've got a plug-in or if you've got Reason, you can add as many devices as you like. If you're working with hardware, you've got one drum machine or whatever, and it becomes a limitation without bouncing everything down as audio. So yeah, I normally just keep layering things up and stuff. So sometimes there's just a couple of drum machines maybe on one of my tracks. Other times there might be 10 doing different little kind of things, you know. Separation's really important though. So the next thing, I guess, is the bass, which is the most simple bass pattern I think I've ever written in my life. There you go. So let me just very quickly just see if I can get this keyboard working properly. I don't know why it's... Oh, there we go. Just needed waking up. So again, kind of in my former life, it was all the electro house bass lines were all about two sawtooths tuning one up, like 5 semitones or whatever. And I kind of took that thing, but with a completely different sound, just using a sine wave. Literally, I could probably just do it now for you. It's so simple. And again, you think how long you can spend sometimes looking through plugin presets, looking through samples, whatever. Sometimes it's just right under your nose all the time. So literally 2 sine waves, so 2 oscillators running there, and then
bingo.
So it literally is that. I think that's. Oh yeah, it's on 4. Sorry. So I've just gone up 4 semitones. Yeah. So yeah. So that's literally how I made the bass sound. Really, really simple. And it's kind of ludicrous how simple the pattern is. It's just like 2 notes and then it just drops down. But you immediately could tell how effective it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Really not complex at all. Because the 808 bass drum's got kind of a bit of a pitch bend in it, so it's kind of hard to tune sometimes. So what I started to do was actually just make my own 808. with just the sine wave in Subtractor. I'll show you how to do that as well, actually. I've just put on a Subtractor. I mean, you could probably do this with most decent synth plugins that have a good sine wave on. So there we go, and then it's all about shaping that sound, obviously. So you want a bit of release on it. Also, you don't want it. I've heard some tracks with the 808s, and they're not monophonic, as in they're all overlapping. The samples are just overlapping when you play like that. So that's cool. Sometimes that works, like the tones actually work together with the changes. But I put the polyphony on 1, so each sound obviously cancels out the last. And then it was all about using modulation envelope. So as soon as I bring that up, it kind of gives that attacky thing at the beginning, and then bring down the decay, so you get a sharp attack, and then just play with the amount a little bit, and you've literally made what is pretty close. Yeah. It's not exact, because the 808, the real 808 sound is just second to none, really. It's amazing. But for pitching and stuff, if you know how to process bass and things like that, you know, you can build your own and do that kind of stuff. I think I don't use it myself, but I know a lot of the guys use the. Is it the Rob Papin, the sub? The Predator thing. No. There's a sub. I can't remember what it is because I don't use it. Yeah, the boom bass, yeah, for that stuff. Again, it's built on the same principles. It'll do more stuff, but you know, that's how I've been doing this. I did something with Hard Drive Deep Inside for Strictly Rhythm as well. Same thing. Didn't use the real 808. I used this on that because it just, again, more control.
At Point Blank Online, you've got 2 methods of interaction with your tutor. Firstly, you've got the weekly online masterclass, which is in real time. And then also we've got feedback on your assignments, and that's known as DVR. So the online masterclass is a 1-hour session you get with your tutor every week. You can ask questions about the lesson content and get instant feedback, and also demonstrations on the fly from their computer desktop with our streaming technology. DVR stands for Direct Video Response, and the concept is really simple. You upload your Ableton Logic or Cubase project file to your tutor, he downloads it and then pushes record on the screen capturing software and evaluates your work, so basically giving you one-to-one feedback. You see all of the mouse movements and any parameter changes made by your tutor. It's kind of like sitting in the studio over their shoulder watching what they're doing whilst they work. We have found the DVR process has truly revolutionized the way that we teach online, and the results speak for themselves. Book your place on a course now by visiting pointblankonline.net.